right, welcome to the Vault Report URI edition. I'm here with former URI player, longtime color analyst for Cox, Abu Bakr, along with Dave, who runs Roadie Rampage, writes for Busting Brackets and Fansided. Thank you guys for coming on. Obviously excited about this year. I think it's universal, local and national, that Archie Miller was a great hire. I want to kind of start just with your expectations. Year one or even a couple of years down the road. I'll start with you, Abu. What are the expectations here for this new chapter of URI basketball?
Well, I think you said it. I mean, it's excitement that you have an Archie Miller coming in. He can build programs. He's going to get really good players. And this is a fresh start, for the university as far as this basketball program is concerned. Very few returnees, but again, I think as Archie is kind of emphasizing, this is a team that will develop and improve over time. They have a lot of freshmen and sophomores on this team, so they're a very young team. So I think the code word is going to be patience for everyone concerned. I think they know what their vision is, and they know that they're going to develop over time. But I think the fans being excited about the new era in Roadie basketball, I think they're going to have to be patient.
Absolutely. And what are your thoughts, Dave?
Yeah. The other thing I would add to that is, and one thing that Archie has talked about a lot, and people that saw the scrimmage would say is fast. Like, this team is going to play fast. So it's going to be exciting to watch. There will be some bumps in the road. Patience is definitely key, but I'm looking for, and I'm not going to predict where they're going to finish in the conference because I truly have no idea. It's just a collection, for the most part, of unknown. A lot of new guys, not 100% sure what we're going to see from them yet. Have some ideas, but I'm looking for a trajectory of getting better as long as they can stay healthy and continuing to play fast and pressure teams in that way.
Absolutely. And, I want to, give a shout out to Thor and just for making this hire. There's a lot of money involved. It was a big time hire. Practice facility is in the works. So we're definitely, I think URI in general is taking the right steps, moving forward. I want to begin with the players returning, some familiar faces for URI fans, just in terms of maybe a guy or two that you're excited to see his development, with an offseason under Archie and him kind of taking a next step. Abu, is there a guy or two that you're looking forward to, a returnee?
Yes, there are two that I thought of even before the scrimmage that I was able to see the other day. And the two actually are Sebastian Thomas and Jalen Carey. I think Sebastian has a lot of upside in the scrimmage. He definitely showed that he has matured. I think his skill set is a little bit better than it was. He had some really, really good games last year, in flashes. And the other guy who I thought really had an opportunity to get better, although I don't think he was necessarily utilized as much, was Jalen Carey. I think he has a lot of upside. He's still just a junior. So those two guys, I'm looking to see them produce even more this year. As far as Malik Martin is concerned, and Ishmael Leggett, I think we'll see the kind of play that they exhibited last year. They just have to figure out how to do it in Archie's system.
Definitely. And Dave, a couple guys for you. I know you're high on Jalen as well.
I'm super high on Jalen Carey. I mean, Archie recruited him out of high school, out of New York. So, they obviously, they're new, but they're not that new. I'm super pumped to see him this year. I think Malik Martin already, as you can see with the gold jersey award that they've been announcing weekly, he's going to develop into a leader for this team if he isn't already, and I'm sure he is. So he's going to be a guy that I think they're going to lean on a lot. And one other thing, Leggett, Carey, Thomas, even, and I know we'll get to these guys, but Bray Freeman and other guards, I think they're going to benefit from some of the spacing you'll see from this team. I know spacing was a little bit difficult last year with the Twins. So those driving lanes, especially for a guy like Leggett who can get downhill, get the ball to the basket, I think you're going to see a lot more of that this year than maybe you saw last year.
Absolutely. And,
Nathan, one of the things that I'm sorry to interrupt. One of the things that Dave mentioned before is this team playing with pace. And one of the things I think is important is they have some very good guards who can play very fast. And you will not see this season 6'9" and 6'10" bringing the ball up the floor. You're going to see Brayon Freeman and Sebastian Thomas and just streaking up and down the floor. But the big players that they have right now, Chiku, these guys can really run the floor. Yeah. So they won't be out of place when this team starts to get up and down the floor, because they can get up and down as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. A10 Media Day, Archie had mentioned, this is one of his fastest teams. He likes to play fast. He likes those guards, I think, too, out of necessity as well. With some of the injuries, that's going to be a strength of theirs. So obviously they got to utilize that. Going into kind of the transfers, obviously we had some big time transfers that came in early summer. I know we got to see the scrimmage. I've looked at the tape. I'll say obviously, Bray Freeman is probably the most established. He's proven he can do it in the A10. But Dave, maybe I'll start with you. In terms of some of these transfers coming in, what excites you most about, not just this year, but the future as well?
Yeah, I mean, Bray Freeman obviously has a very good chance to be one of the best players on this team. But Chiku, I think, is, kind of one of the X factors in terms of, we talked about the guards, and they got plenty of very talented guards, but they're going to need some men in the paint. And I think Chiku is going to fill that role. We saw, as Abu mentioned, him running the floor, him getting run out dunks, lead passes, him streaking right in, just some of the highlights from the scrimmage. I think that's going to be big because there's a lot of very talented big men in the A10. But if he can be faster than all of them, I think that's going to lead to a lot of easy baskets this year.
Definitely. And Abu?
Yeah, of course, we've talked a lot about Brayon Freeman. Already everybody knows the kind of player he is, preseason, third team. The thing that I think is going to be key for him, he certainly is going to get downhill. He's going to be looking to, or if he can make other players better in the process, this team can really excel. So if he can do that, and I'm not sure if he can, he'll play with Sebastian Thomas, I think, a lot. But if he can have the other players become better, I think he was a little slow in recognizing openings during the scrimmage. But if he can do that, he's going to be special. Absolutely. The guy who the folks haven't talked about a lot, and he's actually a freshman still, Brandon Weston.
Yep.
He's got skill, he's got ability, he's got talent. He's extremely talented. And I think that fans are going to be pleasantly surprised with what he's able to give them. Has a great inside outside game. I was very excited to see him the other night.
Yeah, and I hate to use the term like X factor, but because it's such a cliche, but Brandon Weston could definitely be one of the X factors on this team this year.
Definitely. And I will, and I'm not comparing them, but I do think, and I know this is a tall ask, but I do think Bray and Weston do have an opportunity to have an impact. If you're looking in the past, like a Matthews and a Terrell, in terms of their impact moving forward, not comparing them as players per se, but that duo with the eligibility they have left, I think is very bright, obviously for this year, but the future as well.
Odom, 6'9", playing the point. More on that in a moment. He dishes to Ed Brown for the layup. Odom driving to the hoop for the scoop. Odom with 20 on the night. Luther Clay to Tavoris Bell. Bell ringing up 18 points. I'm playing off words.
But you're doing it well.
Oh, thank you. Odom one more time, hitting the jumper, showing his entire game as Rhode Island wins 82-69.